Elon Musk makes bold prediction about the future of the U.S. debt crisis. This is probably the only way that can fix it. Spoiler alert, he did not say Dogecoin. Video released of Epstein Island getaway. Hollywood agents are preparing more statements than the Oscars. Bitcoin hits 2-week high in crypto market recovery. Boy, this thing's got more swings than an elementary school playground. All that and so much more on this week's episode of Teed Off. Hey there, folks. It's James coming to you from the Back Nine Life Studios with this episode of Teed Off, where I get into all the news that is news that was news of the week, at least according to me, with no filter, no fluff, and as always, no political affiliations. This is the 20th episode, so I've been doing this for 20 weeks now, 20 weeks straight. I do this pretty much on my own most of the time. I do all the editing, do all the shooting, do all the lighting, do all the scripting, do all the thumbnails, do everything, do all the marketing. It's all me whenever it comes down to it, so we're pretty proud of it. Yes, it is a grind, but having a lot of fun doing it. Glad I can bring the news to you as the way I see it each week. Let's get right into it. This is the comment of the week. All right, welcome back to the comment of the week. I was going to give it to you this week, Kimchi, because it is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. I, however, had one come up on a topic that was about the National Guard and not blaming anybody except for the shooter. Thank you, BioBob 2083. His comment, their blood is on Trump's head. 3 exclamation points. Bob, I really do. I respect your opinion. Thank you so much for the comment. This reminded me of a comment that I saw on Facebook in 2012. Right after the Benghazi attack, there was a comment on Facebook, and I remember it very distinctively. And it said, their blood is on Obama's hands. How long are we going to do this, guys? That was 13 years ago, and the same exact division is going on. We know it doesn't work. We know it's not going to work. We know that it is a change in our mindset. We know we have to change our mindset in order to fix anything. And we can't just point fingers all the time. We're just repeating the same bits of history. And we're going to get into bits of history that we repeat that are very ugly. So I'm just saying that we need to really delve into how we look at things and try something different, because what we've done is not working. Thanks again, Bob. Thanks again for everybody for leaving comments. I want your comment to be seen next week or the week after. The week after, you have to leave one. Okay, yeah, this first article, Elon Musk making the bold claim about the future of the U.S. debt crisis, pretty much the only thing that will solve it, according to him. Buddy, you're trying to solve the debt crisis, and we're still trying to understand what the Cybertruck is and what it does. I mean, your shareholders would probably prefer if you would fix the autopilot first. Just saying. Elon Musk has a very fascinating backstory. We got to really look at who Elon Musk is and how he got to where he is. He is the richest man in the world, worth like $500 billion. Way back whenever he was a kid, he started zip2sale.com. That was his first company that he started whenever he was just a wee tyke. He made $22 million in 1999 off the sale of that. What he did with that is he bought himself a $1 million McLaren sports car. He also bought a Cessna airplane. Good for him. Then he took the rest of that money and he put it into PayPal. Did real well with PayPal. I don't remember the exact year he sold it, but his part of that sale was $165 million. He took every bit of this and put it into Tesla, put it into SpaceX. On December 23rd, 2008, both of those companies were literally hours from insolvency. He was loaning all of his personal wealth to Tesla and to SpaceX to keep them going. And what happened was Tesla was having a funding round trying to give more shares and put more preferred shares out or something like that. The market was dry. I mean, this was after the crash of 2008. This was December, and the market had crashed in October. Lehman Brothers had gone down. So that funding round fell apart. He was dead in the water. SpaceX could not get NASA to give them a contract. They actually were up for one. They were not favored to get that contract. He had pretty much risked $165 million on throwing a hard 8 on the crap table. That's what, actually not even a hard 8, probably a yo. He had to hit an 11 or else he was going to go down and we would have never even heard of Elon Musk. I guess there were some palms greased or something. Who knows what goes on. But the NASA contract came through and the rest is history. The guy is the richest guy in the world. Him doing that gamble really paid off. paid off big time. But I don't know if 400 million Americans have the same risk tolerance as you do, Elon. If we're going to go the route, which he said is to do robotics and automation, that's the only way to solve the debt crisis. I can see where he's going because you're thinking the productivity and the growth will outrun the pace of the debt. But this is a huge risk that he's talking about. Government really wants to go that route, then they need to really explain to the public the risks involved here. We as Americans, we have a lot of nice stuff, a lot of cool stuff. We could be putting it all at risk if we put all our eggs into this robotics, AI, automation basket. They say, well, the jobs will go away, and nobody will have to work and this and that. Well, if the jobs go away, then there's nobody to buy products. I see what he's saying. I don't completely disagree, but you need a lot of ducks to really line up in a row. It's not even a yo 11 on the craps table. This is like putting it on 23 on the roulette table. All this stuff has to line up perfectly and work out to a T to where we are supplying all the world and the world is pretty much supporting us to sit around and not have jobs and let these robots and AI take care of all this. But this is just Elon Musk talking. This is his take on it. He no longer has anything to do with the government. Trump's not listening to him anymore. Now it's time for the dating advice after 40 from yours truly. This is the Back Nine Loving. Hey, welcome to the Back Nine Loving, where you get relationship advice from a guy who has failed in all of his. But fortunately, you don't need that much advice because dating in your 40s is just like dating in your 20s, except now we have prescriptions, routines, and a favorite grocery store to go to. This week's trend, what is it? Situationships. It is like a relationship, but without any of the commitment, but all of the confusion. Basically, romance with an asterisk. Situationships in your 20s, now that's fine. You're still learning what taxes are, what insurance premiums are, and you're learning the hard way what credit card interest really is. But at 50, if you've seen me stretch before bed and we're hanging out 3 nights a week, congratulations, we're in a relationship. I don't show people how I pop my hip flexor without them being in my inner circle. Here's the thing though, situationships keep happening because we're also terrified to define things. We label leftovers, we label pills. If you give me a relationship that is kinda, sorta, maybe, I'm gonna leave a post-it note that says explain yourself. So here's this week's takeaway. If they can't tell you what you are after a month, then you tell them what they are not. Hey, life is too short for romantic gray areas, especially whenever we already have to have readers to see the menu. Number 2, video released of Epstein Island getaway. Boy, did you see this place? I mean, this is something else, but it did not look like it was a billionaire's place. You know what I mean? It was pretty bare. But yeah, this video got released and the budget just got pushed back to page 14 of the to-do list. You can hear half of Washington and most of Hollywood booking flights to Switzerland right now. This happened quite some time ago. Jeffrey Epstein hung himself, in 2020? Lawmakers, don't you have anything better to do? Here, I'm going to tell you what something better to do is, and I'll spell it out for you. It's BUDGET. And that's not Budget. It's not Budget. That is budget. Budget. Get on the budget. That needs to get done. Get it done in time this time, all right? Here's what their day kind of looks like. They get up in the morning, do a couple emails, and then all of a sudden they're on the phone for the rest of the day begging for money. Whenever they're done with that, they get in and they go out into the rotunda and they try to find the closest camera and they start talking about whoever they hate in the other side of the aisle or Donald Trump. Most of the time it's Donald Trump. They'll just find a camera so they can talk about Donald Trump. Do the budget. That's what we pay you guys for. We don't pay you to do these home videos that you made of the Jeffrey Epstein Island getaway. I see a lot of YouTube videos that they censor out that word, but they call them PDF files. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, poor Adobe, they're getting a bad rap. All these YouTubers are calling these people PDF files. I don't know if YouTube is making them do it or if this is just the new thing that we can't say these words now, that these have become bad words. I don't know. I'll leave them in here, and if I get an email from YouTube saying that you can't be saying that around, I guess I'll beep him out. So we won't call Jeffrey Epstein we will call him a PDF file, or I'll just say but it'll be Jeffrey Epstein is a however my mouth would move saying that. I can't lip sync and do the sound at the same time, okay? I can't. Let's do the nostalgic news minute. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Back9 Broadcasting coming to you with a special report on this December day in 1954. In Washington today, the United States Senate did a rare and resounding rebuke of one of its own. By a vote of 67 to 22, the Senate officially censured Senator Joseph R. McCarthy of Wisconsin, marking the climax of months of heated hearings, fiery accusations, and national controversy. Senator McCarthy, whose investigations into alleged communist infiltration have dominated the headlines for the last 4 years, was charged with conduct contrary to senatorial traditions. Today's vote signals a decisive shift in political winds, and perhaps the closing of one of the most turbulent chapters of the Cold War era. The message from Congress is unmistakable. The era of McCarthyism has met its reckoning. I'm James Roberts in the newsroom. Good night and good news. Bitcoin rises to 2-week high on cautious market recovery. Boy, this Bitcoin, it lets you know that emotional stability is not something that comes with your investment portfolio. It used to just do wacky, crazy moves all over the place. I don't know how you can do it. It'd be like riding a roller coaster. Your stomach would be in your throat the whole time. 2-week high, that means the group chats and Reddit would be like, bro, it's happening. I remember whenever Bitcoin was worth nothing. And that's actually yesterday. Still today. It's still not worth anything, but people buy it. What we have is so much of an influx of money in this system that Bitcoin is going to be the gauge. It's really going to show you how markets are going to move. So we've had this little crash in it. And what you're really seeing, and there's multiple reasons for dips. I'll get into just a couple that might be going on with Bitcoin here because you never really know exactly what's going on. People say, well, there's no correlation between Bitcoin and the market, or there is a correlation between Bitcoin and the market, yada, yada, yada. There is a correlation because Bitcoin is the one asset. The one asset, if you just have leftover money laying around, you put it in it. Say you have $1 billion portfolio, you have $20 million extra just laying around that you're like, what else can I buy? You buy Bitcoin. So that's the buy of last resort, which means it will be the sale of first resort. So when it trolls ahead, they will sell Bitcoin first. So Bitcoin will lead the market, but you don't really know what this sell-off is about. This could be what's happening. There's a lot of these companies that are really leveraged into this Bitcoin stuff, and there might be some other companies that want their assets, so they start to try to tank the market a little bit, trying to get these companies to sell off their Bitcoins at fire sale prices. So that way they can come in and swoop it all up. Who knows? A lot of people that owned it way back when and became multi-millionaires. I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars they've made whenever they were buying it down there at 20. Have started to sell some. Now, this could just be them selling. It could be them selling and then hoping to buy at a lower price. I mean, you don't know what's really happening. So you can't just say 100% that Bitcoin falls and the rest of the market's going to fall down with it. Who knows what's happening? I do know that Bitcoin is still not worth anything. It is not valuable. It is not a currency. It is not a store of wealth. It is just a speculative asset. And it's a speculative asset that you cannot hold in your hand. If you got a few extra bucks laying around and you got a $20 billion fund, yeah, you'll buy some. Why not? There's always an Elon Musk down the road that'll pick it up. It's getting more stable now, so it's not going to have as big of swings. It's not going to have the 1,500% swings and stuff. But this thing's been around for 15 years, and its chart looks like a toddler trying to learn to walk. Where we at? Yeah, it is time for the hack trick. Welcome back to the hack trick, where the key to life is simple shortcuts that keep you sane. Hack trick number 1, when your toothpaste tube gets low, put a binder clip on the bottom of it and just move it up as it goes. You'll squeeze out all that because we can't be wasting any of this stuff as expensive as it is. Hack trick number 2, if your room feels weirdly hot or cold, flip the little switch on the fan up or down. Down in the winter, up in the summer. Yes, it is basically free climate control, which is the only control we have left. Hack trick number 3, if you keep forgetting things in the morning, write a note with a dry eraser on a coffee mug. You'll see it while you're drinking, you'll instantly remember. And then whenever you wash it, it goes away, just like your motivation at 10 a.m. That's your hack trick. Use wisely, or at least use it once. All right, last one today. Tom Hardy's Tulsa King replacement scores big on streaming ahead of season 2. They are talking about Mobland. If you have not seen this series, the first season of it, it is good. I bring up Tom Hardy. I've been wanting to talk about him for a while. He is one of my favorite actors in Hollywood today. Tom Hardy shows up on set and he takes it over. What it looks like is he's like, I rehearsed this, which is refreshing because we don't see that in Hollywood a lot anymore. We definitely don't see it with the Tulsa King. Not that Tulsa King's bad or anything like that. It's Taylor Sheridan, and we know Taylor Sheridan. That's right. He's killing it. He's killing it. He's still lassoing. He's still lassoing up actors. He's still lassoing up people. If you don't know Tom Hardy, he's been in so many things that you wouldn't probably even recognize him. He's a chameleon. I just wanted to kind of touch on his filmography to let you know what this guy has done and what you should really see. I've seen all these, but he started off in Band of Brothers, the Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg miniseries. He was in that. He was a young guy in that. Didn't have a great big part or anything. And then he was in Black Hawk Down, same sort of thing. These soldier movies, you can't really tell who's who, but whenever he's on the screen, you could tell he was there. He's just got that presence. There's a reason this guy is a movie star. Did a lot of little roles in different movies, working his way up. He was Bane in Batman. He's the only actor to be a villain in Star Trek and a villain in Batman. As Bane, he was the best villain. Yeah, Heath Ledger was really good as the Joker. That's it there. But him as Bane, he was so good. In 2008, the movie Bronson, where he played Charles Bronson, who is the most notorious criminal in the UK. If you have never seen this movie, go get it. Go stream it. Go get it on DVD. Go get it wherever you need to get it. You will see what an actor is all about. And his lines are just kills it. And he is so intense into the character. Putting the lotion on himself whenever the guards were going to come rushing in one time. And he had one guard hostage there. What the hell is it? What does it look like I'm doing? I'm putting on my body armor. Then a good breakout film for him, which was actually Inception. If you saw that with Leonardo DiCaprio, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Christopher Nolan directed, about the dreams and everything. Great movie. You saw right then how he could steal a scene. Great movie all around. Everything Christopher Nolan does is awesome in my opinion. And then he did Warrior, where he was playing like an ultimate fighting champion, which Tom Hardy is a jiu-jitsu guy. He wins competitions in jiu-jitsu. He's that good. He definitely stole that movie. Then he was in a movie called This Means War with Reese Witherspoon and Chris Pine. And it was romantic comedy, and he showed off some of his comedy chops. This guy is actually pretty funny. He was pretty funny, too. He's not just an intense, dramatic actor. He is actually pretty funny. Then he was in a movie called Lawless, about bootleggers in the early part of America in West Virginia, and you didn't even know anybody else was in the movie. You just waited for his scenes to come along. Then he did The Dark Knight, playing Bane. Then he did a movie called Locke, which was just Tom Hardy driving in a car, I think, for about 95% of the movie. It was so riveting. It was such a good film. Go watch Bronson first, but check out Locke, too. Locke was a really good movie. Then he was in Child 44 with his idol, Gary Oldman, which Gary Oldman still has one of the greatest parts I've seen in all time, which was in True Romance, where he played the Rastafarian dreadlock gangster. Still one of the greatest performances. Small little performance he did, but so good. Then he did Mad Max Fury Road, where he was in a car most of the time too and wore a mask most of the time like Bane. But man, it was such a visually great movie. Then he did Legend. He played the Cray brothers, which were gangsters in the 60s London, and they were twins, and he played them both, and they were two entirely different personalities and whatnot, and he just nailed both of them perfectly. Then he did The Revenant, which Leonardo DiCaprio was the one that went and got Tom Hardy, pretty much begged him to play the antagonist in The Revenant, and he steals it. Then he goes and does Venom, the first one, and then he goes into Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders was such a cool show, and he played Jewish kind of hitman-ish or something in it. He gets on screen and it just blows you right away. And then he did this series that he created called Taboo, which was London in the I would like to say 1700s, maybe 1800s. It's almost like he was a character in Hearts of Darkness, traveling up the river and losing his mind as he goes. Then he played Al Capone in his later years whenever he was losing his mind. Did Venom 2, made $20 million for that picture. Now he's doing Mobland Season 2 going on, and he's got another movie called Havoc coming out. I'm done talking about Tom Hardy. Everybody's going to think I've got a man crush on him or something. This is the 20th episode of Teed Off here. 20 weeks I've been doing this. So I might not be doing a podcast next week. I'm just a little burnt out, and I know I'm going to get into the Christmas special and the New Year's special and everything, so I'm going to take a little road trip. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, guys. I mean, we're still growing. We're growing well. I appreciate it all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will miss you all next week, but I will be back hitting it hard and heavy in the holiday season. See you later.